Hello, good morning students. So today we will begin with the revision of new chapter, that is chapter number 4, reproductive health. Okay, so this reproductive health, this chapter will carry 5 marks question, 3 marks question, 2 marks question as well as a 1 marks question. So altogether this reproductive health will carry 5 marks questions, means 5 marks. It will carry 5 marks. So it may they may ask you either it is a single 5 marks question, or sometimes they may ask you 3 marks or 1 marks. Totally in exams the probability of coming of questions from this chapter is 5 marks. Okay, so this chapter is also important along with your previous chapter, that is chapter number 3, that is human reproduction. Okay, so we will see now, that is first of all we will see 2 marks question, then we will see 3 marks question. Okay, so first is 2 marks question. So in 2 marks question, that is they may ask you regarding, that is what is MTP, or a long form of MTP you know very well, that is medical termination of pregnancy. Okay, and mention the safe period for MTP. So this MTP is nothing but medical termination of pregnancy, means just like abortion you can say. That is, it is the intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before the full term. Okay, so purposely you are going to, knowingly you are going to end the pregnancy before that full term, that is nothing but your MTP. Okay, you can call it as induced abortion also. So that may be asked for 2 marks question, like that is what is MTP, which will be carrying 1 marks, that is 2 split questions are there here. What is MTP, that if you answer that 1 mark, again in that mention the safe period for MTP. So safe period for MTP, your safe period for MTP is first trimester or up to 12 weeks of pregnancy, that is before 3 months. Okay, so before 3 months or till 3 months you can go for, that is MTP. After that, if you go for, you can go for MTP, no problem, but if you go for MTP, that is dangerous. Okay, so you cannot go for MTP. Most probably this MTP is usually they prefer it in the first trimester, that is before 3 months or till 3 months, that is 12 weeks of pregnancy. Okay, like this they may ask you the 2 split questions together for 2 marks, that is one part MTP, second part safe period for MTP. So if you answer only one in this 1 mark, half if you answer 1 mark, another half 1 marks, so totally 2 marks. Then after that, next question, and this has occurred, this question MTP question has occurred in March 2014, and this may repeat, and there is possibility of repetition of this question, it is again and again. Okay, then next question, that is 2 marks, that is name human, female and male sterilization procedures, which is asked in July, that is supplementary exam of July 2014. So here you know that is sterilization procedures, these are the permanent sterilization procedures, thereafter you cannot have children. Okay, so in male it is also performed, as well as in female also it is performed. When it is performed in the male, that procedure is called as vasectomy. Okay, so why vasectomy? Because they are going to cut the vasa deferens of the male reproductive system. So the vasa deferens of the male reproductive system will be cut, which is the main duct which will carry your sperms outside the body. If you cut it and tie it to the respective ends, that procedure is called as a vasectomy. Then in females it is called as tubectomy. Why tubectomy? Because here in females, if you want to stop having children, what they do is they are going to cut the fallopian tube, that is also called as your oviduct. Okay, they'll cut the fallopian tube and they will tie it to the respective ends. So the name tubectomy. Okay, fallopian tube is cut, so the name tubectomy. When you cut the vasa difference in the male, it is called as vasectomy. So don't get confused. So name correctly, write correctly the names. That is in male it is called as vasectomy. In the females it is called as tubectomy. Okay, so then about next question is about mention any 4 sexually transmitted diseases. So here sexually transmitted disease, you know that these are the diseases which are usually spread through sex. Okay, so which are those? There are many more. So you have to keep a record of all those things, all of them, because usually if they ask you 4, so don't only be prepared for 4. You should know more than that also. So here mention any 4 sexually transmitted disease. The first one is gonorrhea. Then you can also go for syphilis. Then genital warts, hepatitis B, then AIDS. So these are all 4 sexually transmitted diseases. So they may ask you mention any 4 sexually transmitted disease for 2 marks question. So each one 4. Why? Because each one option will carry half marks. So like this, if you write 4, it will be totally, that is half into 4 is equal to 2 marks. So next is about the next question is about mention any 2 natural methods of birth control. So here it is asked in supplementary 2015. So there you have seen in the contraceptive methods there are natural method. First one is natural method. In that natural method, first one is periodic abstinence. Periodic abstinence means keeping your menstrual cycle in mind. You have to have sex during leaving that safe period. For example, that is as you all know, the menstrual cycle, that is from the 10th day to 17th day of the menstrual cycle, there is chances of ovulation, and that is called as a fertile period. And if you avoid having sex during that fertile period, that is nothing but it is called as that if you avoid having sex during this fertile period, you can avoid pregnancy. So it is called as periodic abstinence. So that is, it is also called as calendar method, you know it. Okay, I have already taught you in the slide, that is when I am taking the regular class. In the video I had sent you in detail regarding this periodic abstinence, or it is also called as calendar method. So mention any 2 natural methods of birth control. So any 2 natural methods you can write, but here I have mentioned 3, because suppose don't get stick up to only 2, right? Because suppose you forget another one, you can remember the other. So for that purpose, what you have to do is you have to keep one extra. Okay, be prepared for the extra. So mention any 2 natural methods of birth control when they ask. First one is periodic abstinence, or it is called as calendar method. Then second one is withdrawal or coitus interruptus. So here what do they do is, partner before insemination or before ejaculation of the sperm, before the deposition of the sperm into the, that is vagina, what do they do is they stop, that is they take out the penis from the vagina, and that is nothing but the coitus interruptus, or you can call it as a withdrawal method. Okay, then third one is lactational amenorrhea. You can write lactational amenorrhea means here that is during the lactating period, that is soon after the delivery, when the mother is feeding the baby, that time it is said that there is no menstruation. Okay, so there is no menstruation or ovulation does not occur, and therefore it is a safe it is a safe time to have sex, because there are no chances of getting menstruation, as well as there are no, that is when there is no menstruation, then there is no chances of getting pregnancy. So you can say that is this lactational time is the best for having sex without getting pregnant. So that is lactational amenorrhea. So these are the three natural methods by which you can prevent having pregnant. Okay, the next question is about, it will come, write any two simple principles to prevent sexually transmitted disease. So here the two methods. So here the write any two simple principles to prevent sexual transmitted disease. Again, it was asked in March 2017. So first thing is to avoid sex with unknown partners or multiple partners. Then second is always use condoms during coitus, because it is one of the methods, that is barrier methods, which can prevent, that is getting this STDs. Then third thing is take precautions for while handling blood or tissues. Okay, so if you come in contact, suppose if you don't take precautions, if you come in contact with the infected blood, the HIV patient or the AIDS patient, then you may have the chances of getting this STD. So always take precautions while handling the blood or tissue fluids. Then follow the strict sterilization techniques for needles, syringes or surgical instruments. Okay, because there is chances of spreading of these STDs through these, that is blood, which may be attached to the needles or syringes or the surgical instruments. Okay, so these are all the basic things what everyone knows nowadays, that is how to prevent sexually transmitted disease. Okay, here they have asked two simple principles. Even then I have mentioned four, because you cannot stick up for two. Okay, suppose if you are wrong with one or the other, you can go for another. So the first thing, to avoid sex with the unknown or multiple partners. Then next thing is always use condoms during coitus. Then third thing, take precautions while handling blood or tissue fluids. Then fourth is follow strict sterilization techniques for needles, syringes and surgical instrument. Okay, another point if you want, you can remember, that is you should create awareness about the routes of infection, modes of infection. Okay, when you educate people about this sexually transmitted disease or the mode of transmission of this STDs, that is also one of the principle to prevent sexually transmitted disease. Okay, then next question is about the what are the features of ideal contraceptive. Okay, this was asked in March 2018, and again in one of the other form it will be asked, and this is most probable question. So here, that is features of ideal contraceptive, means usually you know that contraceptives, these are the contraceptives means these are the things which help us to prevent getting pregnant, isn't it? So contraceptives are, you cannot use any contraceptives. So contraceptives are nothing but these are the what you can say, these are the materials or the things which help us to prevent unwanted pregnancy. So this ideal contraceptives, how they should be. So here the question is what are the features of ideal contraceptives, which was asked in March 2018. So first thing is they should be user friendly. Suppose usually it will be asked for 2 marks question, so write 4 points, because each point will carry half marks. So first point is it should be user friendly. Okay, so next point, it should be easily available. Okay, then third thing is it should be effective. Okay, whatever the contraceptive you are using, it should work, and then along with working, it should have least side effects, that is effective and reversible with no or less side effects. It should have less side effects. Then next thing is, it should not interfere with the sexual drive of the user. Okay, so yes, some people hesitate to use this contraceptive. So for that purpose, it should not interfere with the sexual drive of the user. Okay, so this is all regarding the ideal contraceptive. Usually write 4 points because each will carry half marks. The next thing is about next question is, name the any two hormone releasing IUDs. Okay, it is again and again asked, that is in July 18, then March 20. So which are those two hormone releasing IUDs? Are nothing but your progesterone and LNG20. So these are the two, don't get confused, these are the two hormone releasing IUDs. Hormone releasing IUDs, example progesterone and LNG20. Okay, so remember this, don't get confused, because you make a list of this. Okay, non-IUDs different, copper releasing IUD different, hormone releasing IUDs are different. They may ask you any they may not compulsory that they should ask you hormone releasing IUDs. No, they may ask you go for non-medicated also, copper releasing also. So here they have asked twice, that is hormone releasing IUDs. There are only two hormone releasing IUDs, that is progesterone and LNG20. Okay, then next question is about this is all the 2 marks question. So after the 2 marks question, there are 3 marks question also, most probably asked 3 marks question. So 3 marks question, first one is, write 3 simple principles to prevent STDs. Okay, it is asked in March 2014. So already we had discussed in 2 marks question, that is write write simply principles to prevent STDs. 3 marks means write 3, here each one will carry 1 marks. So here that is simple principles to avoid sex with unknown partners or multiple partners once again. Then next, use of condoms during the coitus or having sex. Okay, then third one is take precautions while handling blood or tissue fluids, or you can mention that is follow strict sterilization procedures for sterilizing needles, then surgical instruments, that also you can add. Okay, so these are the 3 simple principles to avoid STDs. The next question is about the list any 3 reasons for population explosion. So it is asked again twice in June, in this, both in supplementary examination, that is supplementary examination of 2014 and 2019. So first thing, reasons for a population explosion. You know that population explosion is nothing but rapid increase in population over a relatively short period of time. In a small period of time, if there is more sudden increase in the population, that is called as population explosion. Then there may be many reasons for the population explosion, especially in the India you can take, or throughout the world the reasons may be same. The first thing is rapid decline in the death rate. Okay, that is death rate. 2 types of death rate may be there, MMR and IMR. MMR means maternal mortality rate and IMR is infant mortality rate. So when there is decline in the death rate, okay, automatically when people stop dying, okay, then automatically there will be increase in population. That is the first reason. Then second reason is increase in the number of people in reproducible age. Nowadays there are a number of younger generations. So it is nowadays there is increase in number of people of reproducible age, especially in India you can see, that is younger generation. And due to this people of increase in people of reproductive age, that may be the another reason for increase in population. Then a third thing is about the control of disease due to better medical care. Okay, So earlier the people used to die due to the different pandemics, that is there was no control over the pandemics like cholera, plague, smallpox, etc. And the present day also you can take, that is there is no but the present day when you take, there is a control of over all these diseases due to better medical facilities. So that is another reason for the population explosion. Then next thing you can give is another extra I have added, that is protection from natural calamities. That is earlier there were droughts, floods, and in that case many people used to die. But nowadays there are, due to scientific advancement, there is protection from natural calamities. Then nowadays there is advancement in agriculture practices, and there due to this there is increase in the availability of the food also. So no problem of starvation, and due to starvation no death. So these all are the reasons for population explosion. Another thing you can add is inadequate access to family planning information. Okay, some people don't know how to do family planning, or that is some of them is there, that is they oppose to family planning due to certain religious regions. They think it as a taboo. Okay, a blind belief. Okay, that is they have some blind belief regarding the family planning. So that may also be the reason for population explosion. So they don't, due to this blind reason, they don't go for family planning, and when there is no family planning, that may lead to the increase in population. So these are the different reasons for population explosion. In simple point wise you can write everything. What just how to write also I have told you in putting in the point wise. Try to write point wise so that you can attract the attention of the evaluators, and you can gain more marks. Then after this is next thing is suggest any 3 assisted reproductive technologies to overcome infertility. Next question, which is asked for 3 marks question. So read the question correctly here. Suggest any 3. So simply they have asked you to write the name of the assisted reproductive technologies with the help of which you can overcome infertility. So first thing is IVF, ET, that is in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer. Then second ART is zygote intrafallopian transfer, that is ZIFT. Then third one is GIFT, that is gamete intrafallopian transfer. Then next is intracytoplasmic sperm injection, that is ICSI. Or you can also go for AI. You can write, if you want, you can write AI, that is artificial insemination. So these are all the different ARTs to overcome infertility. So they have asked mentioned 3, but still I have mentioned 4 because 1 extra. Okay, so this is the about the ARTs which will assist in overcoming infertility. The next question is, how do the following assisted reproductive technologies assist the couple to have children? That is, first one is IVF, in vitro fertilization. The next one is ZIFT, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer. Then third one is GIFT, that is zygote. GIFT is gamete intrafallopian. The spelling mistake is there, sorry for that. It is gamete intrafallopian transfer. This was asked in the supplementary examination of 2015. So you have to according to the question you have to answer, that is each ART explanation will carry 1 mark. So don't simply write the name of the ARTs. What you are supposed to do is you have to explain it with the help of 2 lines. So first one is IVF, that is in vitro fertilization. So here what to write? Here write that is ova or the egg from the wife or the donor, that is female donor, and the sperm from the husband or the male donor are collected, and they are brought together and they are induced to form zygote. They are put together under stimulated conditions in the laboratory. They are brought together, it is the ovum and the sperm, and they are kept in the laboratory and induced to make zygote. Okay, under the stimulated conditions in the laboratory. This much is enough. Then second point is ZIFT, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer. Means here in this procedure, the zygote which is produced either by in vitro fertilization or in vivo. In the last class only I have told you what do you mean by in vitro and what do you mean by in vivo. In vivo means it is a fertilization which takes place outside the body of the female, that is in vitro. In vivo means inside the body, where whatever the procedure is taking place inside the body of the female is called as in vivo. So that is this zygote which is produced in vitro or in vivo condition is transferred into the fallopian tube to complete the development, that is ZIFT. Then next one is GIFT. The third thing is GIFT, that is gamete intrafallopian transfer. Here, as the name indicates, you are going to transfer the ovum or the egg, you call, which is collected from the donor female, and that egg is transfer. You are going to transfer that egg or the ovum into the fallopian tube of the another female. Why you are doing it? Because that acceptor female cannot produce the egg, but can provide environment for fertilization and further development. Okay, for that purpose you go for this procedure, that is gamete intrafallopian transfer. If the gamete is extracted from another female, it is put into the another female. Okay, so these are the three points you have tried, because it's short they have asked you, because it is for 3 marks. So how do the following assisted reproductive technologies assist the couple to have children? They have asked you how they help. So in 2 lines you have to write regarding IVF, ZIFT and GIFT. Okay, so this should be clear to you people. Then next question is, what is infertility? Give reasons for infertility in humans. This is asked in March 2017. So infertility definition you should know. Here it is a split question carrying 3 marks. First part of the question will carry 1.5 marks and the next part of the question will carry 1.5 marks. So first of all, mention that is answer for what is infertility. Infertility is nothing but it is an inability, okay, to produce children in spite of unprotected sexual cohabitation or sexual intercourse is called as infertility. So infertility definition you write, that is infertility is nothing but inability to produce or conceive, okay, inability to conceive or produce children even after 2 years of even after unprotected sexual, that is it is, you can also mention even after or in spite of 2 years of unprotected sexual cohabitation or sexual intercourse is called as infertility. Then they have another question, the split question they have asked, give reasons for infertility in humans. The reasons for infertility in humans may be many, that is, for example, it may be physical or congenital, it may be due to some of the other diseases, or that is infertility may be consumption of some drugs, okay, it may be some immunological reasons or maybe some psychological reasons. So these are all the reasons for infertility. So it is a split question, as I told. One for, if you answer the upper part, you will have 1.5 marks, the lower part 1.5 marks. So like this. Okay. Then next question is regarding the mention the natural methods of contraception. Okay. So already it is already it was asked in March 2018. It was asked earlier in 2 marks question also it was asked. Now here also it is asked again for 3 marks question. When you are answering 2 marks question, write only 2 methods. It is here it is 3 marks question, so write 3 options. Okay, because each will carry 1 mark. So first, natural method of contraception, of natural method of birth control also they may ask you. The first one is periodic abstinence or calendar method. Then second one is withdrawal or coitus interruptus. Then third method is lactational amenorrhea. Okay, so like this they may ask single questions also in different ways. Okay, they may ask you 2 options or 3 options, depend upon type of marks allotted. The next is explain the following assisted reproductive technologies. It is asked in supplementary examination of 2018. So again they have asked about the 3 assisted reproductive technologies like IVF, ET, ZIFT and ICSI. Okay, so here that is IVF, ET, that is in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer. Here they have given the short explanation regarding this. You also should do explain in brief, because it is for 3 marks and individually you have to give 1 marks for each. Okay, so that is there. What is thing is in brief. So IVF, ET, in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer. So the fertilization which is carried outside the body of the mother in stimulated conditions, in laboratory conditions, and transfer of the embryo to the fallopian tube or the uterus is called as in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer. Then second one is ZIFT, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer. In short, write in that is 1 line, that is zygotes which are formed in vitro or in vivo, that is which have come to 8 blastomy stage, are transferred into the fallopian tube. The next is about the ICSI, that is intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So what do they do here? Here the sperms are directly injected into the cytoplasm of the ovum in the laboratory. So these are the 3 assisted reproductive technologies used to cure or overcome infertility. So 3 marks question, 3 options they have asked. Each option you have to, each point you have to explain in brief, very brief, and each option will carry 1 marks. Okay, so this is the how you have to explain the answers. Then next one is define infertility again and write 2 ARTs to overcome infertility. It was asked recently in March 2020, and as already you have known regarding the definition of infertility. Infertility is inability to conceive or produce children even after having 2 years of unprotected sexual cohabitation or sexual intercourse. This everything is there in my notes. Okay, you can refer there also. Then next thing is about it is also a split question, as you are seeing. The first part is carrying 1.5 marks, next part will be carrying 1.5 marks. First part is about the infertility. If you answer it, you will gain 1.5 marks. Next part is about ARTs. It is again for 1.5 marks. Then that is assisted reproductive technologies. 2 they have asked to mention, write only 2. Okay, so IVF, ET, that is in vitro fertilization and embryo transfer, and second one is GIFT, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer. Okay, so like this you have to answer point wise. Okay, so next is about the next point or another question for question. This is all about the 3 marks question. So in the next slides or the next class we will see about we will discuss about the 5 marks question. So now thank you for this.